Hi everyone, this is John Gerardi with Right to Life of Central California, bringing you another in our 40 videos for 40 Days for Life series. 40 Days for Life is the international campaign of prayer and presence outside abortion clinics throughout the country and throughout the world. If you want to learn more about our 40 Days for Life campaign, get in touch with us at rtlcc.org or by calling us at 559-229-2229. Today on the show, I want to talk a little bit more about the topic we talked about yesterday, court packing. This is a big initiative that a lot of Democrats are pushing. They're very upset that President Trump nominated 3 Supreme Court justices and about 200 judges to the lower federal courts because I think chiefly they're upset because of how they might impact abortion law. And they're afraid that these judges will chip away at Roe v. Wade. Yesterday, we talked about that as regards the U.S. Supreme Court. But the drive to pack the courts doesn't stop at the Supreme Court. It also extends to the lower federal courts, which I figure I can describe for all of you. So in the United States, we have 3 levels of courts: the federal district courts, the federal appellate courts, or the circuit courts, and the U.S. Supreme Court. The federal district courts are the courts where any federal case, so something that involves a question of federal law or a dispute that crosses state lines or something like that, this is the trial court. So at the trial court level, you resolve disputed questions of fact as well as disputed questions of law. And the judges can issue legal judgments as well as oversee trials in which factual disputes are debated. Now, after a verdict or a decision is given in the federal district court, any legal questions or legal disputes can be appealed to one of the federal circuit courts. And the federal circuit courts are really, really important. One thing I forgot to mention about the federal district courts is that the district courts are sort of broken up by regions of the country, each within a state. So we in Fresno, California, for example, any of our federal court cases are heard within the Eastern District of California. And there are a number of federal district court judges who hear all the cases coming out of the Eastern District of California. Now, a case is decided in the federal district court. It gets appealed up to one of the federal circuit courts. And the federal circuit courts hear appeals from all of those lower district courts. The federal circuit courts usually hear the appeals from at least 2 states. So the First Circuit Court of Appeals, they hear all of the appeals from the federal district courts located in more or less the states of New Hampshire. So Massachusetts, Maine, the various other states of New Hampshire and Puerto Rico. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals hears appeals from New York and I think possibly Connecticut. The Third Circuit Court of Appeals hears appeals from certain states. We in California live within the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals hears all of the appeals from a huge number of states in the western United States: Alaska, Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, Arizona, Nevada, Montana, and Idaho. So all of the appeals from all of those court cases, and Guam, all get heard by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and the Ninth Circuit has something like 28 judges. So the federal circuit courts are really important. They're one click below the Supreme Court, and if you appeal up from them, you get all the way to the Supreme Court. But the federal circuit courts hear thousands and thousands and thousands of cases every year, with only about 80 cases hitting the U.S. Supreme Court. So those courts are very important. There are a ton of legal issues that get decided by the federal circuit courts. Well, what a lot of the pro-choice side wants to do is not just pack the Supreme Court, expand the number of judges on the Supreme Court so that Mr. Biden can pick all of the people who will fill all those vacancies on the court. So instead of having a 6-3 Republican appointee majority on the Supreme Court, instead have 13 seats on the Supreme Court and have it be a 7-6 Democrat appointee majority. Not only do they want to do that, they also want to expand the number of judgeships for the various federal circuit courts and for the federal district courts. By doing so, the Democrats hope to fill the federal judiciary with lots and lots and lots of liberal picks who will support legalized abortion. And really, the goal, I think, of many on the left is to completely undo President Trump's legacy as it regards judges. Regardless of what you think about President Trump, I think from a pro-life perspective, you can't help but acknowledge that the judges he picked all up and down the federal judiciary are going to be much less sympathetic to the various arguments in favor of legal abortion. And again, the Democrats cannot achieve this goal, just like they can't pack the Supreme Court. They can't achieve this goal unless they abolish the filibuster rule in the Senate. And we need to pray and hope and work as diligently as we can that the Senate does not abolish that rule, and that the Democrats do not create all of these new judgeships and all of these new seats on the U.S. Supreme Court. For Right to Life of Central California, I'm John Gerardi.